Good morning, councillors and staff, and thank you for being here this morning. It's dedication on a long weekend. Thank you very much. We have an extraordinary meeting today, and I'd like to sort of pass over to the General Manager. Can you just give us a few words?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We also my appreciation to councillors for attending this extraordinary meeting. We were requested by State Planning to expedite decisions around the VPA, as they were looking when they called to make the approval and wanted this sorted. Hence the calling of this meeting. And I'll now hand councillors over to the Manager for Planning, Building and Health, who will take us through the document. Thank you.
Yeah.
Francois, and I'm just going to read all.
Thank you, Francois. And there's a slight amendment on number 4. Point number 4 says it's authorised the General Manager and the Mayor to execute the VPA. That's the point in 4. When we come to someone to move to the Planning Manager. Thank you, Francois.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for the opportunity to address Council and to give a quick update on what happened since the August Council meeting. So, a draft voluntary planning agreement with an explanatory note was on public exhibition for 28 days, as required by the Environmental Planning and Assessment Act. At the conclusion of the public exhibition, we received 2 submissions. One submission was in the form of a letter of support, and that came from the Yanko Powerhouse Museum. Another submission was in the form of objection. The person that objected basically objected against the development itself. The objection was based on the fact that the person is of the opinion that the environmental impact statement had flaws in it. There were issues raised about how ethical this type of development might be. There was mention of child labour and stuff like that. The objection is not against the terms of the voluntary planning agreement. The voluntary planning agreement is just another legal instrument that is part of the overall approval. In this particular instance, the Yanko BESS, or the battery energy storage system, is state significant development, and the consent authority for it is the Independent Planning Commission, not Council. So the VPA is just an add-on to the development. Should the development be approved, the VPA is formalizing the contributions that will be made on a voluntary basis by the developer. So the objection does not affect the VPA or any of the terms in the VPA as exhibited. So the recommendation to Council is to go ahead and formally adopt the VPA and to execute it as required.
Thank you, Manager. Is there any questions from the councillors of the Manager before we proceed to a motion? Councillor Morris.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just thank you, Manager. I just a clarification. I know it's the actual construction certificate that triggers then our contribution to Council. Is it the construction certificate and the turning of the first part of the soil, or is it just the issuance of the construction certificate?
Mr. Mayor, I can quickly go to that clause in the VPA. So, the first payment, the initial payment of $890,000 becomes payable within 3 months after the issue of the construction certificate. So when a construction certificate is issued, the first payment must be made within 3 months.
It triggers that one.
Yeah. And from there on, there's more payments at the stages as nominated in the payment schedule.
Almost like a progress payment. Almost
Yes.
like that.
So, and the payments will occur over a 5-year period. So there's certain payments due after 3 years. There's certain ones due after 12 months. So it all gets triggered by the construction certificate, but once the CC is issued, then the ball is running.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor.
That was my question.
Councillor Kidd, you had a question?
No, that was my question, Mr Mayor, that process becomes unstoppable once the first
Good.
payment
That's correct. So
commences.
even if the DA is approved and the developer does not go ahead, there's no VPA. The CC will trigger the VPA.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Implementation of the VPA.
Right.
Thank you. I've got Councillor Edwards want to have his hand up. Councillor Edwards, are you able to talk?
I believe now I am. Sorry, I dropped out
Yeah.
before.
That's okay.
Mr. Mayor. Just for you, Mr. Mayor, I'm wondering is there other agreements that council will enter during the progress of the development, besides the VPA, and what consultation has occurred with council around such development, including the mitigation of, let's say, fire risk and other things? Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
I'll just pass it on to the manager.
I don't catch the last part.
So in terms of, is council going into any other relationship with this company, and what of things like fire risks and whatnot to do with the development?
Mr. Mayor, so we are not proposing to enter into any other agreements other than the VPA. So the VPA is the only legal agreement that we've got with the developer. In terms of fire safety and all those other issues, that is detailed in the development consent. So the development consent, for instance, has got a condition that talks about fire safety. There needs to be a fire study done, and they have to implement the fire safety measures that is identified in the fire study.
The normal mechanism that normally.
Yeah, so all of that is actually part of the consent. The VPA is just an agreement on how contributions will be made to council.
And sorry, Mr. Mayor, just to reiterate, council does not make any decisions in regards to the DA consent. That's a state government matter.
That is solely with the Independent Planning Commission. So they are looking after all those conditions.
Councillor Edwards, you have your hand up again? Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think somebody else had their hand up first. Was it Councillor Kidd?
And that's fine. Edwards, question was answered by the General Manager.
Thank you, Councillor Kidd. So if this is our only agreement between us and it's Ace Energy, isn't it? Would this be construed, this is probably more so to you, Mr. Mayor, that the council supports such development going forward? Is there no other, if there's no other agreements, if there's no other requirements from council, is this the only mechanism being used that says, yes, council supports such development? Thank you.
Well, we're not the consent authority.
And
Can object to taking them
That
out.
was my, fair, Mr. Mayor.
just so council's being consulted on this development. You might recall about 3 weeks ago, the Planning Commission held a meeting with council. In this room, they were on Zoom. We were all invited to participate. And so council has relayed the routine things back to them that we would typically want them to consider in a DA, make sure that we don't land up with all your rubbish in our landfill. Make sure if there are fire concerns, you need to look after them. So all those concerns that the general public raised, council has said we want the Planning Commission to make sure they have regard to them when they make their decision. So I'd say they've all been checked already by the Planning Commission, or are being checked by the Planning Commission. Does that answer your question, Councillor Edwards?
Councillor Wright, you have your hand up.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, the GM, and presumably the Planning Commission has the power to mandate conditions, development conditions, and so on that would address those issues if they needed to be addressed.
100%, yes.
Before they happen.
Yeah.
Give us a question, the normal mechanism that would happen in the development. Thank you very much. Any more questions of the manager? Councillors? No. Before you, there is a recommendation by staff. I did point out point 4 is slightly changed with the authorisation, the general manager and the mayor to execute the VPA. Do I have a move and a second of that? I have a move by councillor Wright, second by councillor Kidd. Those in favour of it? Those against? Thank you. I'll tell you the motion is carried. And thank you very much, fellow councillors and staff. And thank you for your time.
Mayor, so you weren't going to ask for any people to speak for or against the motion? So it's just
I didn't see your
passed
hand
already.
up, councillor Edwards. I didn't see
Well,
your
no,
hand
you
up.
went. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for your time.
Do you want to record your message? You have the time. Are
Well,
you
no,
recording your vote against it?
I'll record my vote against it, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Thank you very much.
No,
then.
don't worry, I didn't vote, so it's taken as against anyway. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Does he want to speak?
Do you want to speak? You can speak.
Yes,
I'm
please,
giving you the
Mr.
floor.
Well,
Go ahead.
I would have liked the opportunity to debate this, and then you went through the motion quite quickly, and you said, well, you never asked if there was any speak for or against. You just decided to go straight to the vote. So I feel like that we're not taking our democratic.
I'm giving you the opportunity to speak now.
I'll speak now, and I'm happy to be persuaded otherwise. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
It's very hard when people are on Zoom. Hopefully in the new year, we'll have these things fixed up that you have to be here, presence, unless you're sick.
Yeah. Well, it is an extraordinary meeting. It's not like it's a normal meeting where I would have been there anyway. So. Mr. Mayor, sorry, General Manager.
No, I was just making sure you were speaking against the VPA and not against the development, because this report is about the VPA. But you might want to link them. I'm just making clear that.
General Manager, my concern is that this is the only opportunity for council to actually even have a say on the development, since it's a state development and we're agreeing to a VPA, which could be construed by the community as us accepting the development as well. And that's what I've had from a lot of people, from a lot of ratepayers, is that concern. And so I'm actually happy to support the VPA, but I'm very unhappy that the motion was just passed without any formal debate, without any due consideration by council. I'm happy to support the VPA. I'm not against progress, but I also wanted to make sure that people are heard and that their concerns are heard.
The debate
And
was
if
on
this
the
is the only
VPA.
forum for local council, then why aren't we using this?
Councillor Edwards, the debate was on the VPA.
Yes, but I'm also being told that this is the only opportunity, like this is the only time where council actually has an agreement with the developer, that everything else is state. So why can't we actually use this time?
That's not true.
Anyway,
Mr. Mayor, perhaps our manager might explain what the progress is of these developments, because I think there might be not quite understanding.
Well, if it also for our information for our fellow councillors and to the community which is watching, I might ask the general manager or the manager to explain that.
Yes, so just before we hand to the manager, just want to make it very clear, the proposal's been extensively advertised. The commissioners came to Leeton. They met with anyone that wanted to meet with them. They met with the council. So there's been a lot of engagement with the commissioners making the decision on the development. Do you want to say anything more?
And Mr. Mayor, and a site inspection as well.
Yep, and the site inspection. Yep.
So, Mr. Mayor, this particular project was driven originally by the New South Wales Planning Department.
Yeah.
They followed all the procedures. It was on the exhibition. There was interagency meetings with every government agency like fire and rescue and bush, RFS and the likes. So there was a lot of consultation before the DA was even lodged. Then the DA was lodged. It was on public exhibition. During the public exhibition period, more than 50 submissions were received. And the project was handed over to the Independent Planning Commission for determination. The Independent Planning Commission again advertised the project and asked for submissions, and they were actually in Leeton to have a meeting with people that have objections against it. They also had a face-to-face meeting with council, and they also went out to a site visit. So this project, right through the whole process, was very open and transparent.
Thank you, Manager. I'm at pains to say that this has not been rammed through at any point. We've been through due consideration, and today's extraordinary meeting is in regard to the VPA. We have had questions. Everybody had the chance to put the submissions in independently or via organisation, and the manager has explained that to us tonight, this morning. So I feel pretty comfortable, but if you want to record your vote against it, you're quite happy to do that, the VPA.
No, thank you, Mr. Mayor. It was already passed anyway, so.
Yeah.
Like, this will be a fruitless exercise now, it's back to order, and I'll probably wasting everyone's time, so thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much, Councillor Edwards. So we've moved the motion, has been passed, and I thank you for your time, everybody, for being this morning. A very important time for our Shire and for the people of Yanco especially. And thank you very much. I'll call them close on the meeting at 7:53.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone. See ya.
Thanks, Al.
Bye.
Let's hear it.